Call the Mandan School Board, December 16, 2024 meeting to order. First item on the agenda is Pledge Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Is there any changes other than we're going to add a meeting date on December 18th for the Health Insurance Committee at 3:45 p.m. in the Brave Center? Any other changes? Seeing none, can I get a motion?
So moved. So moved.
Can I get a second now?
A second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, please call roll on the amended agenda.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is public communications. Anybody wish to address the board? Not seeing anybody in the audience. I'm just going to move on then to the administrator's report. The North Dakota School Board Association negotiation seminar. Dr. Betts.
Yeah, it's February 6th and 7th in Bismarck. There's no requirement to attend. According to your committees, your two negotiators from the board are Mr. Horn and Mr. Peters. Dr. Rederath will sit with them during negotiations as well. I just wanted to let you know that's available. Anyone can attend, but those two are our negotiators.
If they want to attend, it's going to let you know.
Yep, just let me know.
Let them know. We'll move on then to North Dakota School Board Association Local Government Capital Connection. Dr. Betts.
Correct, and that's February 18th and 19th. We have little time with that. I would think maybe a week before there's a box lunch that goes along with it. They're partnering up with cities and counties and I believe park districts as well. I'm just trying to get elected officials to come in to the legislature. So I have the brochure or the flyer that goes along with it in here, and if you're interested, let me know and we'll get you registered.
Where's that actually taking place at?
It is right at the Capitol.
Right at the Capitol.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Again, here to let you know if you want to go, correct?
Yeah, this is new. They've never done this before. It's the first time they're doing it. The governor's going to talk. I don't know if it'll be any good or not, but you certainly can't hurt to go.
All right. If you want to go, let them know. All right, we'll move on then. Update on the sale of the property sale to Tri-Energy. Mr. Legacy.
Our property is sold. As of Thursday, we have officially sold the corner lot on 1806 and Old Red Trail to Tri-Energy Cenex. We sold the property for about $1.25 million. Just a reminder, we paid $4.4 for that entire high school property. So the sale it's a nice recovery of funds for that project, and we will use those funds towards capital costs of the high school.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Legacy? If not, we'll move on. Congratulations to Tri-Energy. Look forward to seeing what they're going to put there.
Yep.
Look forward to it. Moving on, the SRF traffic study. Mr. Legacy.
Yeah, as part of our purchase agreement, Tri-Energy conducted a traffic study with SRF Consulting on our high school property. They shared that with us. It's included in your packet if you'd like to review it. I've reviewed it and understood maybe 20%, so please go through it. If you have questions, let me know. I won't be able to answer them, but I can get them to people that can. So,
Well, you understood 10% more than I did. Anybody have any questions on that one? And this is something that was paid for by Tri-Energy, not
Correct.
us, but they
Yes.
shared it with us, so we had it available
Yes.
for other things. So it's
Question, just, we're doing this traffic study with the middle school also, correct?
yes.
And will they use this, do you know, or?
I don't think they'll use much of it. I think they were looking for two different pieces of information. This one was really geared towards how much traffic is going near the roundabout. Their idea is to get a right in, right out of their lot off of 1806. So I don't know that they're overlapping much. So,
any other questions? Go ahead.
Is there any chance that the roundabout's going to change with the changes of the other intersection that's been talked about? I don't know.
not from my understanding. I think we're in support as an administrative team of adding a right in, right out near the roundabout, but I don't foresee any changes to that roundabout.
Or were you talking the interchange over on Sunset?
Yeah, that too. So I didn't know if that was part of like the project or not.
No, the Sunset Interchange is a separate project. I believe that is 2027 is that's slated for construction. Been in a couple meetings. They say 27, who knows how long that's going to get pushed off, but that is a completely separate project.
I went to the day when they had the open house at the middle school in relation to it, and they didn't talk anything about the roundabout in relation to it. It was all just right in that
Yes.
particular area. So I don't know that that would affect it in that regard. Any other questions? All right, then we'll move on. Near-site clinic update. Mr. Legacy.
Yeah, good news on our near-site clinic. We met with Noel Reel, who is the clinic director for Medallis Medical in North Dakota, on Thursday. They have hired 2 providers for the Mandan clinic, which again is located right next to Balancing Goat. If you've been that direction, they have an urgent care sign on the building now. Their Medallis sign will be going up soon, and we are opening on January 6th. There will be a ribbon cutting with the chamber. We don't have that date right now, but I'll make sure I share it with you when we get that date.
All right, sounds good. All right, then we'll move on to the consent agenda. On the consent agenda tonight, we have review and consider approval of previous board minutes from November 4th, 2024. Review and consider approval of October 2024 bills, revenues, and expenditures. Accept the student achievement minutes from October 28th, 2024, and accept the policy and personnel minutes from December 2nd of 2024. What are your wishes?
I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Please call roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. And under unfinished business, we have review and consider approval of the 2025-2026 MPS calendar. Dr. Betts.
Correct, and I'm trying to find what page number it is in your packet, and I'm not there yet, but we did put this out. We had a couple of calendars that we put out to our parents and staff to vote on. We had 922 people vote. 59% preferred calendar 1. So it would be our recommendation that we adopt calendar 1 for next year. And I can answer any questions that you have.
All right, any questions or motions?
I had one. Can you just for summary, are there any difference? What are the differences between calendar 1 for next year and what we've got this year?
Calendar 1, the one that we adopted, was different from calendar 2 in that there are more days in the first semester. We start school August 19th. We go through December 23rd. So it's a shorter Christmas break, but then there's more breaks throughout the second semester. We try to build one school break in each month.
And the end of the semester test will be before break.
Yes, believe that's the plan. The high school will finalize that, but I think that's what the teachers prefer that, the administrators prefer that, the students prefer that. So I'm guessing that's where we're going to end up.
All right, any other questions? If not, could I get a motion?
I would move that we approve the 25-26 school calendar.
Which version? Option 1 or 2?
Option 1, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Did I get a second?
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, please call roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is new business. We're going to move into review and consider approval of firm to conduct a district-wide facilities plan. Mr. Legacy.
Last week we had a 9-member team interview JLG architects, Icon architects, and EngTech architects to conduct building assessments and build a capital maintenance plan for us. We had 3 very strong firms, good proposals from all 3, but the committee unanimously chose Icon architects to move forward with. They were all good proposals. I'm going to speak for the group is Icon has more software capabilities for us to use going forward. They are going to build in our building assessments and our capital maintenance project to a cloud-based website for us that we'll be able to access and kind of keep on top of these capital maintenance projects for the long term. It's going to make this process year over year more transparent, easily accessible for the board and our administrative team. The lump sum fee they proposed was $85,000. I had estimated the cost to be $75,000, and I'll stand for any questions. Mr. Wolf, Mr. Horn, and Mr. Haugen were on that committee as well. I think we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, any comments?
I would just say, I'm still not sure, completely convinced our school personnel, well, hopefully they'll be involved in a lot of this decision-making.
They will be.
It seems like a lot of money for.
All three firms said they definitely got to rely and work with all of our teams in relation to it. So they'll definitely be involved in building the plan and the outcomes of the plan. So I think it'll be good for everybody in regard to it.
Yeah, Mr. Kopp is our assistant facilities director. He has a ton of internal knowledge. He knows the buildings in this district better than anybody. If he were here today, he would tell you how important this is. We know the things that we know. We're kind of scared of the unknown. I know we have some issues with our electrical systems at the 4 old elementaries. We can't tell you what those are going to be or how much they're going to cost to replace. We really need this facility study to kind of understand those things that are out there that we haven't seen pop up so we can plan for the future.
Any other questions or comments? If not, could I get a motion or the wishes?
I'd make a motion to approve Icahn Architect to conduct a district facility plan.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? And it's Icahn and, it escapes me in the second one.
Kraus Anderson.
Kraus Anderson,
Construction.
thank you.
Yes.
Kraus Anderson, I mean, they're tag teaming on this one,
Yes.
which brings in actually two very good. It brings the architects, but it also brings in the building side of it because Kraus Anderson bailed too, so that'll help in relation to that. Any further discussions? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is Mandan Public School District Transportation Request for Proposals. Mr. Legacy.
Yes, included in your packet is the RFP that I'd like to send out to school bus providers. Our contract with Harlow's expires on June 30th. This is our 7th year in a contract, and due to state law, we have to rebid for school bus services, so we need to send this out. Just a couple of notes I want you to be aware of. On page 1, we show our timelines for the process. I know it says our recommendation to school board will happen February 3rd. That is not going to be a contract. That is going to bring the contractor to you to enter contract negotiations. I would expect this project to wrap up sometime in March, and we'll have a contract ready to go. I jump ahead to page 3 of the proposal. I've added some language in here to lower the average age of our buses right now. Right now, the current age of our buses averages 12 years old. We have an old and aging fleet. I'd like to get that average age down to 8 years. That is a common average age in the state. That's what Bismarck uses. Harlow's is aware that our fleet is aging. Due to COVID and the supply chain issues, we've had issues getting buses. Costs spiked and inventory was very low. So it's been a problem and we need to address it.
Mr. Legacy, in relation to that particular one here, I mean, that's going to drive our cost up just a little bit in regard to it, right?
It is going to increase costs for us, yes.
Is there any thought about just putting that in maybe as an extra bid? You know, do it one way and then do that with another option so we could take a look at it? Safety of our students is number one paramount. Don't get me wrong here in relation to it, but that could be, if we do it, just they have to be on board with 8-year-old in the next session. That could be a big upfront cost in relation to it. I'm just asking the question.
It's kind of part of the reason I say that we're going to enter contract negotiations on February 3rd. I'd like that to be part of it, that when we bring this to the Facilities and Finance Committee, that we kind of talk through those things, that maybe it's not a all-at-once lift, but we phase it in over 3 years, that we get to that.
Okay, that makes sense then. I see where you're going with it.
It's a
I'm comfortable with
benchmark that, so if we have any other contractors bid besides Harlow's, they know our expectations, so we're meeting the benchmark.
Okay, I'm okay with that then.
Yep.
I guess that was the next question. Is there any opportunity to have further bidders?
I think we're going to have one other bidder. First Student is the largest school bus transportation company in the nation. They have expressed interest. There are a lot of hurdles to coming into a new market, though. To find land, to have a shop large enough to service a fleet of our size, it's difficult. We'd really like to have more than one, but I don't know if it's feasible or not. We're trying. So, yeah.
Can I ask a question that ties into the next one here?
Yeah.
The joint powers agreement. I mean, is anybody else in the same boat as we are that's out on an RFP that we could combine more than one school district to do it? Or is it just a big headache to do that?
Our contracts do not align. We have talked about that. Bismarck's contract expires next year. Yes, we've talked about it. We're trying.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. I just thought I'd ask the question.
Yeah.
Have we looked at doing it ourselves?
We did. I'm going to let Dr. Bitts take this one.
All right.
I think the big piece of this is the recruitment and training of drivers. We no longer can do that ourselves. It's become the requirements that the federal government has put on it has made it almost impossible to, on a large scale, do your own busing. We also don't own. Well, we own, I think, 2 buses now? I mean, 2 little, so the capital cost for doing this would be very expensive.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
To get back into it would not be cheap.
Are we presently using the bus garage?
We are using that for our maintenance facility right now. So our facility maintenance, so all of our small engines are in there, snow removal equipment, lawn mowers are used in that shop, yes.
Thank you.
Any further questions or comments? Are you looking for a motion here, or are you just?
I have just one more note that I want to make sure that you're aware of. On page 4, just number 6, it's at the bottom of the page. The one comment I get over and over again from parents is about our communication regarding bus delays. I've added in there that the district needs to be part of that process to pick a communication software. We need to be part of the solution, whether it's Harlow's or First Student or another contractor. We want to be part of that to make that better. So that is included in the RFP.
You need a motion on this one, or is this just for? Okay.
I'd like a motion, yes.
So could I get a motion then, I'm assuming here in this, going to release the Mandan Public School District transportation request for proposals, I think is what you'd be looking for, right?
Yes.
What are the wishes of the board on this one?
I would move that we move to transportation request proposal, if that's worded correctly.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes,
Yes.
this is on.
Yes.
Yes. Next item on the agenda, review and consider approval of a joint powers agreement for cooperative purchasing.
Yes, pretty simple here. Joint powers agreement. In practice, we have been doing this with Bismarck. The main idea for doing this is that we can cooperatively bid our food commodities. So we've been doing this with Bismarck for a number of years, but we'd like to include Fargo, West Fargo, Minot, Grand Forks, and Williston in this as well. We kind of feel that with the larger schools, we may have a little bit better purchasing capabilities. So again, the main idea right now is food commodities. We can expand this to do bus services, I think of it maybe more as buying paper right now and some of those products, but it can be expanded in the future. There is no reason for not joining this joint powers agreement.
Any further questions? Seeing none, what are the wishes?
I move to approve the joint powers agreement for cooperative purchasing.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next item on the agenda, review and consider approval of a first reading for the following policies: CAN, spectator ejection policy, ABEC, meal charging policy, DED, administrative leave and suspension, DFC, revenue sources, DH, bonded employees, DI, accounting and reporting, DID, audits, DJDA, travel authorization expense reports, DJEJ, payment procedures, EA, data protection and security breaches, and EB, building grounds and management. Dr. Rederath, I think I'll turn it over to you just to go through them all. We'll just take a motion on the end unless we have something that we need to change.
Yeah, really the only kind of substantial change or new one is the spectator ejection policy, the first one on there. That comes from that High School Activities Association. Brought that down this year. We made a few adjustments to it. The original one called for a 3-game suspension if you were ejected. We changed it to a 3-week because depending on the activity and what they're doing, 3 games can be a weekend or it could be 3 weeks depending on the sport. So we did adjust that per our purview as the policy board. But that is really the only new one out of this group. The rest of them, there were some minor changes to, few citation changes, but nothing of substantial change to the remainder of the policies. There is quite a long list of them, but no major changes outside of that spectator ejection policy. So I would stand for any questions.
Just a question. I mean,
Yeah.
if they get ejected in this, that's for all sports for 3 weeks.
It
they're
is,
out,
and
right?
it
It's not
includes-
just that sport that they were
Right.
at, right?
And it would include any high school activities tournaments. So if you get ejected in their state basketball, then within that 3 weeks, it would include the basketball tournament itself. There is an appeals process because we're all human. Someone might get ejected one night and the athletic directors can get together and talk about it. And they might say, that maybe wasn't warranted and they can review it. So there is an appeal process to it as well.
And that, I'm assuming, is if I get ejected in Mandan, I'm out for the whole state, right?
Yes. Yep.
How does that work? I mean, how does everybody else around the state know?
Athletic directors do the best that they can communicating those things and those expectations and to coaches and parents, but
So there is a process behind the
yes,
scenes.
yep.
All right. Any other questions on that, or any of the changes that are being made here to policy? I hadn't seen any when I read through them. Anybody else? What are the wishes of the board on the policies?
I would move that we approve the first reading of those listed policies.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. And we have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is review and consider approval of open enrollment application seeking a deadline waiver. Dr. Bitts.
You have paper copies in front of you. I believe we have 3 families with 5 total students. These are all Mandan students who are enrolled in Mandan now. The families have moved out of the district and they'd like to continue here. I will make one comment. As I visit with our staff, they always ask about open enrollment. Almost every open enrollment we have are Mandan students who move out. We don't have a lot of people who come into our district cold who don't have a connection here and enroll. So just so that, I know you know that because you act on these almost every meeting. I'm not sure our staff does, so hopefully if they're listening, they understand that a little bit.
Yep, thank you. Any questions on these? What are the wishes of the board?
I'll make a motion to approve the open enrollments.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? I just want to make a comment here. there's 5 of them here, I think, in relation to it, and they all want to stay within our district, and that means our teachers, our support staff, our administration, everybody's taking care of their students because they want to stay. They're not looking to move. They're moving for other reasons out of our community, but their students and their children like the place where they're at here. So congratulations to everybody in regard to that. Seeing and hearing no other comments, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is to go into executive session. Before I do that, I just want to reiterate the future meeting dates. December 18th, Health Insurance Committee, 3:45 p.m. at the Brave Center. January 13th, Student Achievement, 5 p.m. at the Brave Center. January 20th, Policy and Personnel, 5 p.m. at the Brave Center. January 21st, Regular School Board, 7 p.m. at City Hall. That's, don't forget, that's at 7 p.m. and that's Tuesday night, right? And then February 3rd, regular school board, 5:30 p.m. at City Hall. Next item on the agenda, back to where we were, is consider a motion to go into executive session to discuss the sale of property in accordance with North Dakota Century Code 4404-19.1. So could we have a motion to that effect, or what are the wishes if we could do that?
I would move that we go into executive session to discuss the sale of property in accordance with NDCC 44-04-19.1.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. We'll now go into executive session and we'll adjourn the meeting once that's over with. Thanks, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.